Good evening, race fans, and welcome along 2 hours of Bathurst. Yes, it is round number 6 of the Formula GT World Challenge Season 1, and it is 2 hours around the mountain that our drivers will be enduring this afternoon. Will it be an endurance for them? We will certainly see. As I said, it is round number 6, Laguna Seca, Imola, Brands Hatch, the Nürburgring, and a very sunny Barcelona, as we saw from the previous round. Some incredible action there, and we're going to see some more incredible action this week. Here are the standings so far. These are the AM standings. It is Michael Wallace, Jay Salgakar and Jay Fraser who are leading the way at the moment, 66, 62 and 56 points respectively. Drew Downing not too far behind, only 48 points, only 7 points behind Downing. Conrad Kula there, 29 points, but with the pace he's got, nothing can be taken for granted with those podium positions. The team standings is Ferrari, who are leading the way by 4 points, with Audi in second. Aston Martin there in third place, again laying credence to my recent batch of statements declaring that Aston Martin definitely still good value for money against these new Evo cars. Lambo in fourth, BMW in fifth, ahead of the two McLaren teams. In the silvers, it's Ian Lance that is leading the way, 101 points, a 38 point gap over Simon Zajac. Chloe Hazel in third on 41 points, finds herself with a 22 point deficit. Ryan Clements only 3 points behind, and he's only got a 5-second gap over Christian Wook. So the top 5 in the silvers, unbelievably close. In the silver team standings, it is BMW all the way, unsurprisingly, the Century Motorsport cars at 101 points. The driver standings, Ian Lance there, unsurprisingly, in the Century car. And it is Audi in third, McLaren in fourth, Aston fifth and sixth. In the pros, it's Robert Bjorkman leading the way, with Richard Walters in second, Luke Wilson in third, 84, 68 and 53 points respectively. Nicholas Krauss not too far off, just on the periphery there, 45 points he's got at the moment. Jose Martins in fifth position on 38, only 6 points ahead of Skylar Loverick, who's only got a 2-point cushion over Magnus Hakkeby. And the overall manufacturer standings see BMW with a comfortable lead over the rest of the field, 134 points clear, and less than 30 points separating second and third. And as you can see there, less than 4 points separating third from fourth. So it just goes to show you what an impressive lead the BMW has. Chloe Hazel, please no Punterino on the hill, please. 2 pleases in one sentence. Who said politeness was dead? While I've been doing that, I probably should have been logging into the server, so let's see if I can get my keyboard to please work. There we go. You ever had one of those days where you had to reinstall absolutely everything and start from scratch all over again? Yeah. Yeah, I've had one of those recently. We'll get logged in. The qualifying well underway. For some reason the password wasn't saved, but there we go. Nope. Nope. Sorry, bear with me 2 seconds. We'll get this up and running. While I just try and get myself into the server. Doesn't like the copy and paste, obviously. Okay, a couple of issues with the server password. If Charlie's in the chat, is there a new spectator password? The drivers are in qualifying. We will get there as soon as we can. That is the stream announcement. No sign of Charlie. Still no idea. We'll get the... Sorry, still having a look for the spectator password so I can jump in and bring you coverage of the race. Let me just see if there's anything. It should be the same. Yeah, sorry, bear with me a second. We're just going to... I'll quickly message Charlie. Yeah, we'll get that very, very, very soon indeed. 33 cars are out on track at the moment, so it will be a nice full race. Okay, it is a completely different spectator password this time out. Nope. There we go. I am indeed in. Looks like that was a technical oversight on my part there. Sorry for all the dead air and panicking in the background, but we're up and running now. 17 minutes of qualifying have already elapsed. Let's pop that there. The AMs have got their qualifying done. Of course, everyone in the pit. We can see it is Wallace who is leading the way there. Salgakar taking 2 purple sectors. Howard and Wallace finishing ahead of them though. Wallace quickest in sector 2. Roy, O'Reilly and Trombley 4th, 5th and 6th. Aaron Souza and D is okay in 9th. Amer in 10th and Gomez in 11th. And in 12th there, Wallu bringing up the rear. Haukube is leading the way for the silvers at the minute. He is out on track. Oh no, he's not. He is in the pits. We've got Christian Wood then, the M2 competition car. There we go. Just coming around the last corner. It's a welcome addition. That. Not happy with my lap. Was a lot of time to find, says Trombers. Harry Tomley there in the Aston Martin. I'm going to guess it. Simon Zajac then, the BMW, taking the top spot early doors. Adam Scott going quicker as well. So the silvers starting to pop in times. There is Chloe Hazel in the McLaren, just behind Wallace. We know Mason Wallace very, very, very quick for an arm. And the pros, quite a few. Bjorkman, Wallace, Davis, Nordells in there, Wilson, Haukeru, Loverink as well. Thornton, who's, there we go, he is out on track in the silvers. Well, Lou held me up with my second lap here with my time on the final lap. Finlay O'Reilly half a second up and binned it on the last corner. Yeah, Bathurst. It is the cruelest of mistresses. Such a fun track to drive, but it really can put the most stalwart of drivers through their paces, most definitely. We'll jump on board with Simon Zajac at the minute. He's got the current pole time. We'll still to see the pros come out. 202.6. I do think that will get a lot quicker. Here he is on the start-finish straight, of course. On his way into Hell Corners. I still maintain that Hell Corner and Forest Elbow should swap names. Onto the mountain straight and then into Quarry Bend. The last time the drivers will have a wall-free environment for over 2 miles of track. Wallace's time still standing the test of time at the minute. Not much green. Nico Dudek is going quicker, so too Christian Wood as well. But up the hill into the cutting, really need to be on the inside. Two wheels bravely out. Zajac opening up the corner to carry as much pace as he can once he's through the cutting here at the top of the hill. Round to the left into Griffin's Mount and then the Parks Complex. Reed Park first, all about balancing the throttle in here, right on the outside curb, really throws it into Seelman, down through McPhillamy, and then into Skyline and the S's. Unbelievably tricky, yeah, unbelievably satisfying part of racetrack to get yourself through down towards Forest Elbow, should be called Hell's Corner, and on to the Conrod Straight, longest part of the track. The only change actually this track has ever seen was on this very stretch. They had to put in the chase chicane because of the geographics. You can see dead ahead there the way the ground goes back up, so yeah, cars hitting that straight would often end up airborne and in the gardens of the locals that live lining the entirety of the track. So yeah, the only change that's ever been made to Bathurst since it was inception in 1938 was that very corner. Murray's Corner is the final corner, and that is Zajac about to strengthen his grip on that pole position. Goes 2/10 quicker, puts himself exactly a second ahead of Adam Scott there in the McLaren. Nice bright blue on the trim, you'll have to see that. Chloe Hazel still sitting in third in the silvers. Christian Wook looking to surpass that, won't be on this one though. Marcus Gustafskis goes second place then, gets to within 6/10. Who's commentating this race? Amazing. You might be slightly biased. Qualifying is always exciting here, says IMSA official, Mr. Dr. Nailbender. Good to see you, and thank you for dropping in, mate, with the IMSA official. On AGS, what do we reckon is going to be the pole lap? Sub 2 minutes. It's an optimum to, although 38 degrees, that is toasty Vaughan. But yeah, we'll expect someplace 2 minutes, maybe slightly quicker. There is Charlie Thornton. Ooh, big wiggle in the Audi on the exit to the first corner. Running very quickly. Josh Miller in as well. How are we doing, bud? Thank you for tuning in. Wish all the drivers and the commentator a lot of fun. Thanks for the stream. It's great, says Senan Ra. Well, thank you very much for tuning in. If it's sub 2 minutes, most likely I'm going to be outside 107%. Lol. Yeah, if it was under 2 minutes, I'm going to be outside. Is there a 107% rule on this championship? I know there's a couple of them that I've got that do run a 107 rule. Have I not paid enough attention to the rules? I will have to double check that. 4 seconds left for the silvers to set a time. And in fact, Adam Scott not wasted any time. He's got the McLaren ahead of Zajac. Now 8/10 separating the top three, but it's Scott who has the top spot. Zajac now in second, and that's him done with qualifying. Less than 10 minutes to go, so they can't start another lap. As you can see, the pros filing out the pits. Guilherme Goncalves in the Porsche. No improvement there. Nico Dudek then looking to get his time set. It's going to be a big improvement in this time, and this really is going to mix it up at the front of the silver grid. He's got 9/10 of a second coming under the bridge past the pit entrance. The pit entrance has got a double chicane in it, by the way, because like all the walls in the mountain aren't enough. Over a second in the pocket. Nico Dudek goes 4th place, sneaks it just ahead of Mishan Wallace there. So some great lap times being set by the Silvers. Let's rely on the in-game timetable, because that will separate them for us. So there we go. It is Scott confirmation there. And again, 3 cars separating, splitting the purple sectors. Augustov Skis in 3rd, Zacic in 2nd, and Scott in 1st place. And it's the 1st, 2nd and 3rd sector they've taken relative to their position. Dudek, as we saw there, got himself up to 4th. Chloe Hazel down to 5th there, with Dudek's heroics right at the end. Woot in 6th place. Oscar starting in 7th. Macy in 8th. Goncalves in 9th. Thornton in 10th. And Lee Evans, L. Evans there, in 11th position. And Mishan Wallace there in the arms, still sitting in 5th place overall. Obviously the pros will be looking to go just that bit quicker. There's Marcus of Augustov Skis. Very disappointing for me, lost a 202 flat. There is a 107% rule. Okay. So at the minute then, yeah, so it goes under 2 minutes. But this, in saying that, we're looking at 202s. There's the mouse gone there. It's got 201.5, sorry. 201.5. We are going to be very close to a 59, I think. With some of the drivers that we've got and some of the pace that we've seen so far this series, I think we could definitely see a 59 here. Trying to figure out how to increase the text size, but that's not working, so we'll leave it alone. We're still on board with Carl Nordell. He is very quick. Looks like it's Haukaby that's going to get a lap just ahead of him. We're about to see some pro times coming in. Trying to catch, it's Skylar Loverink. So I completely misread that. I thought Loverink was at the back, but it does look like it's going to be Loverink sets the first pro time in the Ferrari. Good to see them doing well in one of the team stand-ins, the Silvers. In the pros though, Loverink going to be the first one to set a time. He's going to cross the line 2/10 slower than Silver, so there we go, 201.7. so maybe 59 isn't on the cards. Nordell and Davis both come across the line. 6th and 7th overall. Luke Wilson, he's got himself 10th overall. So it's Loverink. There's Nicholas Kraus, popped in a time in that Mercedes that we were watching. He has gone 4th overall. 2nd in the pros. Johansson and Wilson now separate Davis and Bjorkman. So it's Loverink early doors, first in the pros. Kraus, Nordell, Bjorkman, Davis, Johansson and Wilson. Haukaby 16th overall, which puts him actually 8th in the pros. So it goes to show you how close to qualifying is here. Loverink up on his time, just comes to a BMW on an out lap, I believe. That is Walters, it is indeed. Richard's still got to set a time. Thornton 22nd overall. Wood, he's got one other, Lewis Evans, another silver behind him. 3 of the arms ahead of him, and it looks like all the pros are going to get ahead as well. How could be bringing up the rear for the pros at the minute. Liverink looking for a big improvement here. So too Hunter Davis, half a second up on his lap. Luke Wilson in the Bentley, a rare bird out on track these days in ACC. But he is definitely up on his time as well. Let's see what Liverink can do out of the last corner. Very long outlap here, over 2 minutes, just over 2 minutes for the laps. So 10-minute qualifying session, not the longest. Liverink does go quicker, still not quick enough to take overall pole. Hunter Davis coming across the line. Oh, he's been gazumped by Wilson then in the Bentley. So Wilson carrying more pace home than Davis. Both of them carrying the pace on to the next lap. Pietro Brescia for Attempto Racing in the Audi, racing down the hill at the moment. He's carrying some good time as well. This one going to put him ahead of Augustovskis if he could carry this home. Avoids the wall out of Forest Elbow. He's sitting 7/10 up at the moment, so that is a good improvement. Like I say, that's going to put him right in with Hunter Davis if he can bring this one home. Skylar Liverink 2/10 up. Kraus 2/10 up. So too is Wilson. Kraus and Wilson almost identical times they've set. Davis not too far behind. Liverink running well. So too is Haukeby. But at the minute, Pietro Becchia looking to make the biggest improvement out of the pros on this lap, although Haukeby just gone 6/10 up as he gets to the bottom of the mountain. Let's see what Becchia does out the last corner. Goes up to 6th place. Still, we've got a silver on pole position. Chloe Hazel disappointed with her lap time. A couple others in the chat seeming to feel the same way at the moment. Here comes Becchia in the Audi. Luke Wilson carrying some time in that Bentley. Really is flying. Josh Miller just added just about 2 seconds between the top 20. That's a really nice field. It is indeed. And when you consider the top 7 separated by 8/10. But yeah, 18 cars, absolutely spot on, Doc. Exactly 2 seconds separating the top 19. In fact, as we see more changes there, Augustovskis and Dudek now being overtaken by Haukeby. What can the Bentley do? He can go third. Luke Wilson up to 3rd place then. And Liverink has taken pole while that was happening. So that's going to be him done with qualifying. He won't have time to get round to the start-finish line. Luke Wilson still running. Magnus Haukeby still running as well. I don't know where I found it, but I found my best time. Nice. Where am I looking here? Sorry. William Howard. Okay, there we go. In the Barbell Sports Lambo. 203.7, yeah, it's over a second quicker than I can get round here. So yeah, very nice time indeed. Wilson, Magnus Haukeby still looking quick, so too Carol Nordell. Fine margins here. Haukeby, Augustovskis, Dudek, almost identical times with Nordell. Bjorkman not far behind, he's got an almost identical time with Johansson. They've got 2/10 to Mission Wallace, now in 15th, so the pros did get ahead of all of the arms. But the silvers certainly still mixing it up at the front. But we're going to see the final few laps coming in now. Kraus just coming out of Forest Elbow. Here comes Haukeby into the final corner complex. Let's see what he does across the line. He's got 2/10 of a second, so it's enough to sneak ahead of Walters if he can carry this home. In fact, he's just found another 10th. Oh, is he going to get ahead of Becky in 6? 4/10ths up, and he goes 6th position. So he does get ahead of Becky and Davis and Walters. Good lap there. Becky still got a 10th on. He's still out on the track. So too is Kraus. Kraus goes up to 4th place then. It's all changing on the final lap. Becky pretty much the last car out on track that looks good for a lap. Bjorkman, I think, yeah, this one won't count. Becky chasing down the hill. Needs less than it, and he's just over a 10, sorry, to get past Magnus Haukeby out of Forest Elbow. No improvement on the Delta as he heads along the Conrod Straight. Really needs to nail this one through the chase chicane if he's going to see any improvement on his position. Now we prepare for chaos, says Trombers. Have faith, have faith. As long as everyone behaves on the opening lap, everything will be good. What have we got? K4 Macy in the chat as well. Good afternoon, good evening, or good morning, whichever part of the world you do so happen to reside in. Breccia just coming towards Murray's Corner then. Is he going to find any improvement? Oh, looks like he's slightly down, and no, he isn't. So that is qualifying done and dusted. And it is Loverink taking the top spot. Scott in the silvers starting on the front row. Not too bad at all. Then it is Wilson second for the pros. Kraus in third. Huckabee in fourth. Becky a fifth. Davis in sixth. Walter seventh. Nordell in eighth. Bjorkman in ninth. Johansson bringing up the rear for the pros in 10th place. We've got silvers in second, fifth, and 11th and 12th overall. Mission Wallace, the lead am, and got 5 silvers, separating himself from Howard, the fellow am. So certainly both class leaders in the AMs and the silvers giving themselves a great chance to go on to victory here, given that they've put other classes between themselves and their nearest on-track championship rival, certainly not the nearest on-track rival. There's going to be plenty of them with 33 cars racing around Bathurst. You can see the ballast that has been added as well. Of course, Bjorkman, Walters and Beckia from their results in race 1. From the previous race, sorry, race 1. This is round number 6 from the previous round, so that's, yeah, some ballast added there. Yeah, as I was saying, it is round number 6. It is 2 hours of Bathurst. It's been alternating 1 hour and 2 hour races. Laguna Seca is where it started. Then it was Imola, Brands Hatch, the Nürburgring, and Barcelona the last time out. It's still on the calendar all the way up to December. We've got Misano, Kyalami, Zolder, Suzuka, Donington Park, and then 2 hours of my beloved Spa-Francorchamps. What a way to end a series. We've got 3 minutes before the drivers start their formation lap. And yes, some ballast penalties handed out from the previous round. Let the crunching commence. There is no fate left. There is only the fate you make for yourself. There we go, the success penalties from the previous rounds being applied. Okay, and from the previous round as well. So yeah, of course, unspent penalties from the previous round getting added. So a few of the drivers with bits and pieces to shake off. It's a 2 hour race, so of course we're going to see them make their way into the pits over the piece. I'm just going to quickly check something. I will, let's have a look at the cars. There they are on the grid. That's not what we wanted. There we go. Do love listening to that guy over the tannoy as well. He is phenomenal. I love that guy. At Bathurst, 9:30, as I was saying, very little changes over its lifetime. The chase added to stop cars landing in locals' gardens. True story. Check it out. Has even survived FIM homologation rules, which have seen, of course, turn 9 at Spa changed to Speaker's Corner, because it was out with peripheral vision with the new design of safety helmet that drivers have to wear. A couple of corners at Bathurst, I think, have fallen by the wayside due to that one as well, which is great for health and safety, but a touch disappointing. If you love a track like Barcelona, you see some of its best corners disappear out of the window. I'm just going to do a quick sound check. The drivers are on their warm-up lap. It is a full formation lap, and then we will be live with the 2-hour race, and a lot of championship connotations on the line here, given the way qualifying is run. This promises to be a cracker. And perfect, the echo is gone. Just in time to see the drivers make their way up through the cutting. Loving it, seen him be very quick so far in the series. Puts it on pole position. Full credit to Adam Scott though, front row of the grid for the silver. So an incredible drive. He will be fending off Wilson and Krause. Wilson flying the flag for the Bentley. It used to be you could not swing a cat for hitting a Bentley. You couldn't swing a traffic cone for hitting a Bentley in endurance races. Anything over an hour, everyone was straight in the Bentley for that OP petrol tank. Certainly not the case these days. Extremely rare to see the Bentley out on track, but Wilson guiding it expertly to what is effectively the front row of the pro grid. Scott ahead of him in the silvers. Nicholas Krause in third. Zajac 5th overall. Does have 10 seconds to spend in the pits. Oh, that's still working. That 10 seconds to spend in the pits. He's got Haukube behind him. It's all about lap 1 here. It's going to be an interesting one. Oh, Lewis Evans hasn't hit drive. He's starting from the pits. So Javier Manuel Gomez won't be looking in his rear view mirror. Baloo in the McLaren. We've got Amar there as well. Deej is okay in the Porsche. You can see there Amar, O'Reilly and Souza. All with 10-second penalties. There's Harry Trombley there in the Aston. Surely hope not to be trundling along. Sitting in 6th place, so a top 5 in class, certainly on the cards. 36-degree track temperature, so I don't think the drivers will have too much difficulty getting the tyres up to the correct PSI, getting the brakes Warm again, shouldn't be too much of a task in these conditions as they head under the bridge. This will be the last time they do it at this speed for the next 2 hours. It will be a whole lot quicker. The insane pit entrance there on the left as well. As I was saying, yeah, let's put 300 feet of elevation change on a racetrack, surrounded by walls, and then put a double chicane in the pit entrance. I mean, why not? Definitely seemed like the sensible thing to do. I definitely would have loved to have been a fly on the wall during that meeting. We've got Liverink going to lead the way with Scott in second. Will Wilson get the jump on the Ferrari? There's the green lights and away they go, and it's actually Krause who's lagged behind ever so slightly there, and it is Scott who's going to take the lead into Hell's Corner around the outside. More than enough room left by both drivers. They are millimetres apart as they head along the mountain straight, and as Adam Scott who's gone round the outside of the Pro, and Luke Wilson then looking to get himself involved. He's got Skylar Liverink well and truly within the sights, and in the background the Mercedes are coming charging as well. Simon Zajac going 3 wide with the other BMW. He's going to just about hang on to this one. He's got Haukeby and Becky looking to make moves. In fact, I think Haukeby is just about looking at that one there in the background. Becky and Hunter Davis going side by side up through the cutting. It's all going to change. It does look like the majority of the field made it through turn number 1. I believe they did. Chloe Hazel still running side by side through the cutting. And there is Harry Trombley in the Aston, just fending off. That was Chloe Hazel in the Aston, coming side by side there. Marcus Augustovskis with a great start as well, up to 13th position. Bjorkman in 12th, Dudek in 11th place. But it is Adam Scott who is leading the way. Skylar Liverink in second, Luke Wilson in third, Krause in fourth, Zajac in fifth, with Haukeby in 6th position. Oh, side by side is Hunter Davis and Carol Nordell. Nordell losing out on pace there, and Richard Walters could find himself with a free position here along the Conrod straight. Currently in 10th, he's got Dudek, Bjorkman, Augustovskis and Johansson. In fact, Johansson in the background. Look how close they all are. Phenomenal stuff at the end of lap number 1. And it is Adam Scott leading the way along the straight. There is Liverink. Oh, Wilson there. He's got Krause closing in. Krause having a look up the inside. He's left more than enough room in the Bentley. Opens up the corner nicely. That BMW in the back. Sorry, the Audi in the back of the Haukeby. Watching this battle unfold, and it is still unbelievably close right through the field as Kieran Macy putting pressure on Christian Wook ahead of him. Salga Carr, one of the top 3 in the AM Championship, currently running in second position. As ahead we can see Hazel putting all kinds of pressure. Excuse me. Oh, Hunter Davis is dropping down the order. So, oh, and he did hit a lot of that curve there. He's tried to control the car and rejoin in an orderly manner, and all that's done is move him down. That's Mishan Wallace going past. That's the Aston Martin going past. Yet he's not even going to attempt to rejoin there because he knows it's so early in the race. Oh, you could have kept rolling. You really could have kept rolling along that road there. He's let the entire field go through there. That is a massive drop in position after just a slight mistake there. Hunter Davis, long race ahead for the Pro, now finds himself at the back of the field, bar Lewis Evans, who started in the pit, so that's quite the fall there. Adam Scott not looking back. He got a worldy of a start, jumped Liverink into turn number 1. The two of them got a incredible side-by-side exit, and it was Scott that came out on top. Oh, and that's an escape road there by Nicholas Krause. That's going to be a bit of a warning from the in-game stewards, and it's going to be a bit of a warning in his rear view mirror. Simon Zajac will not waste any time closing that gap, and he's got no choice. He's got Haukeby, Brett and Becky not too far behind. They're only saving grace at the minute, I would say, is the fact that Carol Nordell is busy dealing with Walters, Bjorkman, Augustovskis, Johansson, Dudek still fending off Morgan Wallace, and in fact Guilherme Goncalves really is putting some pressure on Wallace. Wallace still leading the way in the arms comfortably. Johansson, please work for me, there we go. Johansson goes all round the outside of Augustovskis there. The Pro versus the Silver. So this one not a points worthy, not an overtake for points, just on track position. Johansson up to 11th overall. Bjorkman, the next car ahead. Look how much later the Audi was on the brakes into the final corner there. Almost looked like he'd missed his braking marker. They meant to close the distance there. Simon Zacic out the first corner and still in the rear pocket of Nicholas Krause, who is tearing along the mountain straight, trying to hang on to the back of the Bentley of Luke Wilson. He's now 1.3 down on Skylar Liverink, our pole position driver, and he himself finds himself 1.9 seconds down on Adam Scott. The McLaren, again, another car I've been talking about a lot recently. I do genuinely feel like a broken down record because I hear myself say this a lot. The McLaren and the Aston Martin really have stood the test of time versus all these new cars that are being brought into the game, the new Lambo, the new Ferrari, the new Porsche. The McLarens really are doing well. Around Silverstone in the dry right now. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the McLaren is one of the OP cars, and at the hands of Adam Scott, it is absolutely flying at the front of this field. The silver driver leading the whole thing, Liverink in second, Wilson third, Krause in fourth, Zacic in fifth, Haukeby in sixth position, Becky in seventh, Nordell's eighth, it's Richard Walters in ninth with Robert Bjorkman tucked right in there in that Sun Energy Mercedes here in 10th. Vegard Elevoli Johansson in 11th position with Marcus Gustafskis in 12th place. Nico Dudek in the Lambo. Got a bit of time to make up there, but he does have Misha Wallace closing in. Wallace has Oscar, another one of the Aston Martins there, and Guilherme Goncalves in 16th position. Chloe Hazel finds herself in 17th. And I feel like we're missing somebody. Where's Tremblay gone? Oh, he's down at the back of the grid. So Harry Tremblay in the Aston. Not sure what happened there, but he's just ahead of Hunter Davis, who's back up to 30th. He's got himself ahead of Lewis Evans, who started in the pits. And Deej is okay. I would suggest opening a couple of laps, perhaps not okay. Now down at the back of the field. 2 hour Bathurst. What a way to cap off the weekend. Let's go! Better believe it. What a great start indeed. Great start by the vast majority of the drivers. Adam Scott, though, what a start he has had. Worldy of a takeoff off the line. Skylar Liverink doing all he can to close up, but that gap is extending. 2.7 seconds Scott has given himself with only 3 laps in the books. Could not have asked for a better start, really. He is truly at one with the mountain. Very, very quick indeed. Vegard Johansson looking quick as well. He's got himself ahead of Dudek and closing in on Gustafskis. Walters closing in on Nordell. We've also got Oscar, Wood, Hazel and Salgakar involved in a 4-way battle. Salgakar looking to hang on to a top 3 position in the championship. Currently second behind Mishan Wallace in the race. Oh, Chloe right out on the outside curb there. 2 wheels and the dust being kicked up. Manages to control it down through the S's though. That's some brave manoeuvring out there. Certainly braver than I would be around there. Just checking Scott. Look at the gap he's got into the final chicane. Incredible drive. That's up to 3 seconds. Luke Wilson third place then. Krause still in fourth. Zacic and Haukeby an equilibrious 8/10 separating these two. Johansson getting very close to Gustafskis, and in fact Johansson getting the overtake done. So these two again trading positions. Oh, and Forest Elbow, that's why it needs to be called Hell's Corner. It's so easy to get that wrong, and you can see the pace that the Audi has got there. The slipstream aiding the worldy of an exit, and not much Gustafskis can do, but pick which line they prefer into that final corner. And yeah, the Audi sailing on past. I seriously doubt this battle between these two is done. Many more laps of this still to come. We've got Riley, Finlay O'Reilly, who was in the chat as well, in the McLaren, closing in on Howard. Another driver in the chat, so good to see drivers in the chat and out on the track. Goncalves still closing their walls. Gustavskis and Johansson right on top of one another as the team rocket guided McLaren over Riley. Nope, not quite close enough on the way in. Going to chase him up through the cutting though. Gustavskis, as we say, still hanging on at the back of Johansson. How could be shaking off the advances of Becchia. Concentrating now on catching up to Zajac. Still just under a second separating those two. The gaps at the top certainly starting to stretch out a bit. Adam Scott really is showing a clean pair of heels to the rest of the field, and that is Deej is okay. Just ahead of him. Just looking at the times, yeah, so Deej with that early pit stop. The race leader already catching up there. Gustavskis in 12th. Still closing in on Johansson. Oh, and in fact, that is Bjorkman. Bjorkman and Walter, sorry, they're going side by side out of the chase into Murray's corner. They've got his teammate just ahead. Oh, the BMW a bit brave on the brakes there. And that is position done and dusted. So we can see the Mercedes did a lot of work to catch up there. Walter's down the mountain. Didn't look like he made any mistakes. Did seem like the Mercedes was just coasting down the mountain a bit there. There we go, full acceleration. But yeah, the BMW, bit of a wiggle, slightest of contacts with the wall on the exit, and you can see how much extra pace that Mercedes is carrying. Just absolutely flies past. Oh well. Manages to catch up, get side by side. The BMW was back in front temporarily. And then just carried too much pace into the final corner. The BMW really hooking it up, looking for the cutback. And this is where it went terribly wrong for the Beamer. Walters too late on the brakes, not enough turning, runs wide onto the gravel. And Bjorkman says thank you very much, takes that position. Oh, and that's another wiggle there by Walters, and that is not what he needs when he's got Johansson so close behind. They've got Gustavskis still very much in contention for these positions as well. Walters definitely doesn't need to be doing that too many more times. Only 12 minutes into the race, 35 degree track temperature. It's actually down a degree since the start, but still very warm track temperatures. They'll be in the cooling shade at the moment, but then on to the straight. Gustavskis pops out with the slipstream, so not taking full advantage of the slipstream being offered him ahead. Johansson certainly is. He is completely stuck to the tail of Walters. Bjorkman leading the way. So as Gustavskis, but yeah, probably not a bad idea just to keep slightly at arm's length at this point. Let these three duke it out, see if he can sneak himself a cheeky little position. Guilherme Goncalves in the Porsche, hunting down leader Mission Wallace. Great start and great race by Wallace so far, 14th position overall. He's got Goncalves and Macy separating him from Salgacar. Not only that, Christian Witt actually really is applying a bit of pressure to Salgacar as well. So could be doing Wallace a favour here. There's Deej, it's okay, just getting out the way again. Quickly moving over for the blue flags. Nice and easy done. Christian Witt in the Aston. Has he got the slipstream advantage in? Goncalves certainly does at the moment, but they're up and over the mountain. Walters, Johansson and the Gustavskis still nowhere near done with their battle. Gustavskis still in that slipstream. Christian Witt running very close indeed. Let's see what Bjorkman has got going on up at the front of the field. There he is there. Still very close to Johansson. How could be really giving Zajac something to think about as well as they make their way down the mountain. Keeping it incredibly close to drivers up at the top. And just these Just such fine margin separating them just now. As you can see with Oscar and William Howard, who has set himself a personal best time, and he has got Oscar in the Aston hunting him down. Just ahead of him, Charlie Thornton, of course Formula GT founder, currently running 19th position in his Audi. The Audi is still a certified card carrying killer. It will run 95% a stint absolutely perfectly, but that 5% it decides not to. Yeah, you really can make some impacts with the wall. Great drive at the moment though by Charlie. 5th position in the 6th position he's in the silver, sorry. Gustavskis. Oh no, 7th, sorry, of course. Gustavskis is in 3rd place. Yeah, Adam Scott, fastest lap of the race so far, and leading the way, although Loverink, I think, making their way through that traffic. Yeah, their last laps there, 2 minute 14 and 2 minute 13. So really slow lap times, making their way through all that blue flag traffic, and it's brought the two of them very close together once again. Two middle engine rear wheel drive cars. The outstanding marks at the moment. Oh, and speaking of outstanding marks, Nicholas Kraus put up an outstanding performance, keeping Huckabee in check. He's still trying to hunt down Zajac, and Carol Nordell finding a nice bit of pace as well. And is he past Brescia? I think he is. Yeah, he is indeed. So we've seen an overtake, or missed an overtake there. So let's see how this one played out. Through Hell's Corner, that is another blue flag that they've got there. Just getting out of the way is Chloe Hazel. Davis getting out of the way as well. So Nordell is by right. Okay, so it was just... Okay, it's a bit infuriating when it does that. It signalled a double overtake there, but it was just the blue flags. Yeah, so they did get very close up through the cutting. Oh, and he did go sideways. Oh, so the position did change, but I think it's changed back. Oh no, it's not. So they did change positions then. Again, the telemetry not working as well and quickly as it should. I wish it would update a bit quicker. Yeah, so Nordell is up, and Brescia definitely did have a bit of sideways motion. These two leading the way. I've come back to inseparable mode again. Wood still hunting down Salgakar. Aaron, Oscar and O'Reilly fairly well separated at the minute. O'Reilly got a 10-second penalty to serve in the pits, and he's just gone past Thornton actually. Let's see. Oh, that looks like a big impact for Thornton then. Over the top of the mountain into Reed Park. Yeah, the Audi looking planted there down into the S's. Comes through Skyline into the S's. Two wheels on the grass, maybe a bit brave, but does get the car slowed, gets it rotated. And down into Forest Elbow. Oh, and it was in the braking zone down into Forest Elbow. The back of the car going in completely the opposite direction required by the driver, and that leaves Thornton in a very tricky position. Oh, and he clips the car again. And when I say clips, that was being slightly polite. Oh, here, Aaron going to make that position, so too Oscar flying past. So that is Thornton, unsurprisingly, in the pits to get that damage repaired. I don't imagine it was easy keeping the car in a straight line until he got back there either. Pit box 1, of course. But he'll get that repaired and get back out. Walters still in the top 10. He's just dropped some positions though again over the mountain. I think we've already missed that in fact, because he has just dropped from 8th to 10th place. Gustavskis, the driver paying okay, so they've tried to avoid Carol Nordell, so that's who's dropped down the order. It's actually Carol Nordell and Pietro Becchia. They two of her are coming together down into Skyline. Nordell now almost missing completely the hood of his car. An hour and 40 minutes left to go. Is he going? I'm guessing he's going to come in and get that damage fixed. Yeah, the mountain really isn't the type of place you can afford to be carrying too much, if any, damage at all. Christian Wood still applying the pressure to Salgakar. Salgakar, oh, and that is clumsy in the braking zone then. So Christian Wood, these two have been following one another for quite a few laps now. Salgakar quickly moving over to shake off the slipstream. Wood quickly jumping back in. So he was carrying a whole lot of pace here. He's got slipstream almost 90% in the Conrod straight. The car unsettling. Oh, and he is late on the brakes. Wow. Yeah, a bit late on the brakes there. Salgakar finds himself at the position that does look like it's being redressed. It is indeed. So there's Wood weighted up. Or moved anyway to keep himself from being a stationary target for people to avoid. He's got himself rolling again, and he has lit the driver back through. Carol Nordell, as we saw, into the pits. That was a lot of damage that he's got to deal with. Richard Walters is not who I was looking for. It was Mishan Wallace. Oh, so we've got another stationary McLaren. It's Hunter Davis. Oh, and he's just had another crack into the wall there, so it's going from bad to worse for Hunter Davis. One of these things, if you get a bit of damage on the car, just because you come into the garage and hit repair car, sometimes they might just rip off the broken bits of carbon fibre, so you do lose the aerodynamic grip, and it certainly seems to be the case with Hunter then. Heading towards the cutting. Through Reed Park, we saw him touch the wall on the way up. Oh, avoids that curve. Both curves on the right hand side there. That might have been his undoing. Yes, it was. So a bit liberal. It's all fine as well being too brave, but if you're too careful through these corners, it can cause exactly that type of issue. Hunter Davis finding that one out the hard way, just crawling into Skyline then after a big impact with the wall. That's going to be another trip into the pits. Kraus still trying to get a move done on Haukaby. Loverink and Scott now back to 1 second separating them. Luke Wilson's crafted himself a 5-second gap over Zajac. Let's just check Kraus again. Gustafsson getting close. Beckia into the pits. And that's going to now need to be a 2-stop strategy. Of course, won't get an hour and 38 minutes. Out of one petrol tank in these cars, not without a whole lot of fuel saving and time losing. Hunter Davis coming in to the pits. I retired because I was so bad, says AJS. Oh, is that Deej is okay? Yeah, Deej is okay. It's the only car that we're missing at the moment. Javier Manuel Gomez. The driver bringing up the rear at the second. It is indeed. Yeah, Bathurst is a tough course, and this is one of the things that makes it so tough. It's bad enough having an incident on lap 1, you come in, you get yourself a bit of damage repaired, but because of the length of the lap and the length of the pit lane, as soon as you come out, you just find yourself with a whole lot of traffic trying to blue flag past you, and it's hard enough getting an overtake here. Trying to let quicker cars past. It is amazing how taxing that can become. Nicholas Kraus into the pits, another car with damage then. Oh, and he's at someplace at the top of the mountain that he's done that. So that is Kraus into the pits, another one in with damage. So some beautiful sunny conditions on the mountain. And the drivers maybe getting a bit too brave, expecting more grip than they're actually going to get, and yeah, a trip into the wall. And yeah, spoiler alert, concrete versus carbon fibre. There's only ever going to be one winner in that little trade-off, and yeah, it won't be the concrete. That is for sure. So there'll be some... oh, and he's crossed that line. That might be a penalty on exit. That might be a penalty on exit the way he crossed that line. That line is white and yellow for a reason. So we'll see what happens there. After lap 1 or 2, I was 2 laps down already. Then I went through the pit lane to let 15 drivers by. It hit the wall. Oh, yeah. It's one of those, when it goes wrong here, it really can spectacularly go wrong. Salgacar still being chased by Wood as Kraus now exiting the pits. Back out in 21st position. So another car. Stop go 32nd for causing a collision. For car number... oh, and it was Nicholas Kraus. So he's coming to get the damage repaired, and he's got a stop go 30-second penalty. So that's another trip into the pits very quickly. Goncalves is trying to get his way past Dudek, although I think Goncalves has had a bit of an issue actually, as we see Macy, Dudek and Mission Wallace going side by side along the corner straight. Mission Wallace just touching the inside curb there. All three of them heavily on the brakes. And Kieran Macy watching this one closely, but Goncalves I think has had a bit of an issue down the mountain there. Lost a bit of time and a couple of positions, carrying a bit of damage there on the front. Carol Nordell back out of the pits as well. Got that Mercedes fixed. 22nd position now. Kraus ahead, of course, with that penalty, so that's going to be a quick position made back there. William Howard set a personal best in qualifying. Currently running in 6th position in class. Mark Roy now behind him. Oh, she's got the... so that is an overtake that's been done there as well. So let's see what's happened. Oh, beautiful move up through the cut and goes side by side. Nails it up the inside, and that is very nicely done there by William Howard. Getting the move up to 19th, and that was for a position in class as well. So that's going to give him a few more points in the bank come the end of the race. Carol Nardell a bit down on that. That was Nicholas Kraus, who's just out the pits. That's actually joining them, so this is a battle for position with himself as well. Although it does say he's in the pits. Hopefully there hasn't been another issue here. Coming down the mountain into Forest Elbow. Oh, very quick out of that corner. Much quicker than the Lambo by the look of it. Certainly quicker on the way in. Oh, the Lambo's way far over there. And Kraus is back in the pits. So into the chase chicane, does he just drive straight back in the pits? He must do. Oh, for the stop go 30-second penalty, of course. Goodness me. Yeah, stop go 30-second penalty, that's why he is in the pit. Skylar Loverink and Adam Scott still leading the way. Both of them leading at the moment. Adam Scott not only leading, well, he's leading the whole race. So he's clearly leading the split that he's in, the silver. Skylar Loverink leading the way for the pros. Luke Wilson still very much in touch with these two. They're not getting too far ahead. Not often you see Helmut Kamen and Bentley these days. Through Hell's Corner. Mission Wallace, big up. Spence in the chat. Spence. Mission always got loads of followers cheering him on in the chat, and he really is doing well. 10th overall. Wutka is now ahead of Salgacar. Let's see how we got it done. Oh, is it going to be another one on the Conrod straight? He's straight into that slipstream. The distance definitely closing. And we're going to see side by side into this final chicane once again. The Audi holding the outside line. Is he going to take the inside line? Nope, keeps the outside line. So the Aston Martin well back at this point, so it isn't into the chase that the job gets done. Into Murray's corner. The Audi just getting a bit lively with those exit curves. 2 wheels on the outside. That's going to be a lot of momentum lost, and that's surely going to be a side-by-side into Hell's Corner, and it is indeed. Aston Martin takes that position. Christian Wood then up 1 place overall to 14th position, and he'll be looking to catch up to Goncalves ahead. Kieran Macy is still very much in touch with Dudek then. This of course for 4th place in the silver class. O'Reilly on Oscar. These two very close indeed at the minute as well. Harry Trombley back out in 28th position. Dudek is again all over the back. Oh, and that's a big mistake there by Macy then on the brakes on the way into turn number 1, and that is definitely not what you need to be doing. Himself and Dudek had been swapping positions. Has he managed to get the cut back here? He did indeed. So the Lamborghini, as we can see, just lost that momentum there. And the Porsche just out on the grass really unsettles the car. Extra bit of steering input on the exit just to straighten up, and there goes Dudek along the mountain. Oh, and it looked like a big wiggle there as well, up through the cutting. The Porsche, the back tyres, not seeming the keenest on grip at the moment. Oh, okay, so he was taking avoiding action, my apologies. So what's actually happened there is the Lambos clipped the wall, and the Porsche had to take avoiding action. Skylar Liverink and Adam Scott. Oh, and that's going to be a 3-wide situation. The Porsche very quickly getting himself out of the way there. Just at the last second, that was Wilson coming through as well. We've got yellow flags on the start-finish there. We've got Skylar Liverink trying to get a move into Murray's corner. We've got 2 yellow flags coming off the Conrod straight. Souza with a 10-second penalty, and I can't see what the other car number is. Nordell. Souza, sorry, in the pits. So that's Souza in the pits. I could have sworn. Is Nordell out the race? Oh, Carol Nordell out the race. So I saw him in the pits. Must be irreparable damage. So that is another car down then. Only 32 minutes in. And we're fairly losing the cars at the minute. We've got a great battle up at the front. Like I say, these two both leading their class, so neither of them will be keen to do anything too silly and put themselves out with the rest of this track. Again, could not be more unforgiving. The only part of the track you get no walls is the mountain straight and the pit entrance with the chicane, double chicane. Macy getting a good exit there, right under Dudek's rear spoiler. Could be worth a look. Going to go round the outside. Definitely got some pace to have the car almost side by side into the first corner. The Porsche heavy on the brakes, opens up the corner, looks for the cutback with a Lamborghini perfectly positioned on the driving line, and Dudek will retain 11th place. Of course he's 4th in the silvers. Macy looking to take that if he can. I'm going to just have to check back with Liverink. Not with that camera though, because you can't see anything. Very close indeed again between the two race leaders. Of course you look at it. Oh, and that is not the final corner the McLaren needed there. I think he's maybe lucky. This is Hell's Corner. Oh, was that a bit of a touch? The slightest of touches there between Liverink and Scott. I was just about to say, you're probably looking about an hour and 20 minutes tops these cars can do, so likely to be at least another 6 minutes as he closes the distance once again. He is definitely side by side this time into, and he's just got his nose back in front. The McLaren hangs on to the position on his way through Quarry Bend and into the cutting. It is still Adam Scott leading the way 16 laps in. Wilson in third, Zajac in fourth place. Macy and Goncalves having a good close battle as well. Still, Goncalves watching Macy and Dudek just ahead. Looking to be the third man there and getting double overtake potentially through Hell's Corner. Dudek running a bit wide there. Macy not using much of the track there at all on that corner exit. Goncalves will certainly get very close here. Porsche v Porsche in a straight line, hunting down the Lambo ahead. He's pulled out, he's signalled inside, not close enough though to get it done on the brakes. The Porsche ahead, good use of the curves to rotate the car, hanging on for dear life by the look of it. And Calves pulls back onto the driving line. Both cars having a bit of snap there. Macy not where they wanted to be on the middle phase, in the middle phase of that corner. You definitely want to be on the cambered part of the track instead of having two wheels up on the flatter part towards the right hand edge of the corner. Goncalves, you get the feeling that he took avoiding action and lifted there. Kieran Macy potentially feeling the pressure, as you can see just how close Goncalves has been getting. No view in the rear view mirror unfortunately. Pelico in the chat as well. Let's go Misha, and more Misha and Wallace fans in the chat. Oh yep, just carrying way too much pace through Reed Park there. Oh, what's happened to Wallace? Let's just keep a check on Wallace then. He's tumbled down positions on the way into Skyline. There's no yellow flags waving, so there's no one ahead of him. A bit of a stutter there in the and that's all it takes, just a little bit too close to the wall, and suddenly you find yourself having to remain very stationary to let more cars through. Oh, and he's reversed. He tried to get himself out of the way so convincingly. He's reversed the car into the wall as well. So Mishan Wallace finds himself behind Goncalves and Dudek and Gustavskis. Which doesn't matter because Gustavskis is in the silvers, of course. It's Jay Salga car that we need to keep an eye on. So Wallace looks like he's doing okay with the damage so far. We need to fix that soundscape. But yeah, Wood closing in, and Salga car won't be a slouch now. He'll be getting the foot down, hoping to negate that damage. There's Howard coming in to take his pit. An hour and 22 left on the clock. So yeah, strong faith in the petrol tank capabilities of the Lamborghini at the moment. Macy still closing in on Goncalves and Dudek. Vegard Elevol Johansson in 9th. Getting a nice bit of breakaway while these three battle on. Huckabee still not past Zajac yet. And at this stage, unlikely to press the issue. Zajac with that 10 seconds to serve in the penalty, in the pit box. Lovering did it, you're right. How have I missed that? There was a lot of damage there in the background on one of those Lamborghinis as well. Why isn't that doing? Please work. And I've missed it. My apologies. That must have been out of Forest Elbow and on to the Conrod Straight. But Lovering has got himself. Full credit to Adam Scott though. Starting on the front row of the grid from Silvers. Took the lead of the race into turn number 1 and he's led for 17 laps. But Lovering the pole sitter has, got a bit of contact with a car on corner exit there. The BMW feeling the brunt. So the Ferrari does have rear damage. Yeah, I imagine there's a few of the cars that are carrying a bit of damage. Few contacts between people. But yeah, better check back on the front because you can see Wilson closing in now on Scott. So now Scott's lost that place. He's still got the fastest lap. We'll see if Liverink can do anything about that, although he is carrying a bit of damage, as was pointed out. Helmet cam with the Bentley. Easy seeing it's one of the few British cars with the old right-hand drive. Okay, so I thought I got a notification. Oh, and that's a back marker collision, and that's Adam Scott. So that is a Porsche he's just gone past it, or was going past. The race leader made it past nicely. Whose car is that? It's the 911 Porsche, Bisher Ammer. Oh, loses the back of the car, comes over, collects the McLaren and the Bentley. Ends up getting gifted that position, and Adam Scott, a lot of damage, and that is a lot of positions now being lost. Bjorkman is already through, and as that Walters is just down the road a bit. We've got another BMW, Mercedes in there that's looking to unlap himself. Not Hunter Davies. Not Gomez either. It's Kraus, of course, Nicholas Kraus, who's just served that penalty. He now finds himself, caught up in all kinds of situations. So it's a blue flag. He knows that that is the one-time race leader ahead of him. There's Audi Becchia just getting out of the way into the S's. They're all side by side. Blue flags waving. O'Reilly comes in to take a pit stop. Goncalves, Dudek and Macy still very close indeed. There's what we're looking for there. Dudek really feeling the pressure from Goncalves. Johansson watching this one unfold. No, Johansson is well down the mountain. Okay, so it's another blue flag. Out of position car. Oh, Becchia almost moving over there. Didn't see the Ferrari coming through. Liverink, the race leader, very nearly taken out there. Oh no, Gustafsson, sorry, making his way through. That is Waller. So that's a battle for position between these two. I'm struggling to keep up with this at the moment, we've got Macy and Goncalves going side by side. Wow, really swooping over there. Kieran Macy aggressively taking that line. And they've got Goncalves then almost losing the nose of his car, but Macy does sneak ahead then. Liverink still in that first place. Wilson in second. Zajac up to third. Now the silver class leader. After we saw Adam Scott make a contact, big old contact with the wall. Haukebi now in fourth. Bjorkman in fifth. Adam Scott in that sixth position. He's got 20th just behind him. He's also got Richard Walters closing in very quickly indeed, bringing the Gustafsson and Johansson not far behind him. Though Johansson, with that damage, could well be losing a bit of pace to Dudek, Macy and Goncalves behind. Mission Wallace is still leading the way in the arms, but it is going to be a bit of a tall order. He's definitely suffered a bit of damage there. 207.1, although Salga car with an almost identical lap time there. So the gap is going to stay the same, at least for this lap. Augustovskis is still trying to get past Walters. This one not an overtake for position, for points anyway. Certainly more for track position, as Walters having a bit of trouble in the braking zone down into Forest Elbow. Or is this going to give us Gustavskis a good enough run? It doesn't look like it is. He's going to be too far back still. Walters is going to hang on to that 7th position. And Gustavskis again, another driver that is unlikely to go for any crazy moves here. Currently running 3rd place in the silvers. Oh, the BMW ahead getting full sideways there. Very, very, very close to getting himself a one-way ticket into the Shadow Realm. Does survive. Make the mistake of hitting that last curve, hitting the inside curve, sorry, on the last corner. That very rarely ends well for GT3 cars or any other car racing at Bathurst. Kieran Macy on Dudek. They were very close along the Conrod straight, and Macy looking to build on that out with the last corner across the start-finish straight. Goncalves closely watching this one still as well, and in fact he could be looking good for a cheeky little double overtake. Nicely done on the brakes. That slipstream certainly giving them the extra pace to catch up. But there go the other cars just breaking away now. Can Macy hang in the slipstream? Goncalves, sorry, Macy as well. Looking to hang on up to the cutting. Dudek doing just enough to maintain that lead. Loverink now 6.2 seconds up on Wilson. So great drive by Wilson. Skylar Loverink though really is getting the foot down. Yeah, Loverink really is getting that foot down. 22 laps in. Hour and 13 minutes left to go, so he's got at least 13 or so minutes of laps until he needs to think about his pit stop. And he's got a fair bit of track ahead of him as well. The next car to him on track is Oscar in 16th position. He's still chasing Salga car. See along the corner straight once again the Porsches doing battle. Macy, Goncalves, Dudek changing positions with Goncalves in fact, and Goncalves looking for another position. Oh, clumsy in the braking zone. Does straighten the car back out again after the contact, redresses the position. Oh, and in the background Dudek there taking massive avoiding action. As you can see, another one of the Lambos. Oh, that's Howard who's just out with the pits then. Oh, so you saw the accident in front, yeah, and just to avoid an action straight across the grass. And Howard obliges by unlapping himself. Carl Nordell, of course, out of the race. Loverink out in front and absolutely flying out there. He's just gone past Charlie Thornton, who, of course, had that early contact with the wall. And it looks like he might have had another one as well. Although it might be a graphical glitch occasionally when the drivers come in to get damage repaired. It doesn't update the visuals on screen, so we'll see the next time he comes into the pits whether it does or not. Wood all over the back of Wallace. Wallace now 13th overall, still leading the way in the arms. And he is fending off Woodcote at the moment, and Thornton, yeah, that is fresh damage. Thornton into the pits. Bashir Ahmed just on his outlap, and he's collected another impact with the wall as well. As we can see, Scott making his way through. Kraus hanging on the back there, trying to get some slipstream from some of the quickest drivers on the track that are just ahead of him at the moment. Augustovskis in that group as well. He's got Walters that he is chasing down. These two trying to catch up to Scott. Scott comes into the pits. Potentially need to get some of that damage repaired. Going for a short 15-minute first stint. There's Becky just looking to make a move on Evans. Evans up to 19th position, despite starting in the pits. Oh yeah, lifts there and lets Kraus past very quickly indeed. Goncalves comes into the pits to join Scott. Charlie Thornton's in there as well, getting some more damage repaired. It is Huckabee then. He's still chasing Zajac. Zajac leading the way for the arms at the minute. And this will do the manufacturer of the world a good as well. And that is the Porsche of, not Goncalves. No, but Goncalves into the pits. Oh, Raffin Bonfim Souza looking like he's had a mistake as well. So let's just keep an eye on this one. So the driver's maybe relaxing a bit too much. 23 laps in. And we're now seeing some pretty big mistakes. Oh, far too cautious. And then the S is really doing his best to avoid the sausage curve, so... Oh, then it just comes to a dead stop. Yeah, maybe popped into the wrong gear. That definitely looked like a strange one though. No one else on track near him that he was blue flagging past. Scott and Goncalves, they two still very close. So too Augustovskis and Walters. And Huckabee and Zajac as well. Huckabee knows he's in third place overall for the pros. Zajac knows that he is winning in the silver. So again, neither of them likely to make any rash movements to try and get this overtake done or fended off. All just about bringing it home and getting the points tally. First and third, these two currently are in their respective splits. Mason Wallace in 11th is leading the way still in the arms. Salgakar still second, and Aaron in third. Of course, Kieran Macy in third place for the silvers. Liverink, Wilson and Huckabee leading the way for the pros. Christian Wood at the minute is definitely still giving Mason Wallace a whole lot to think about as they come along the mountain straight and into Quarry Bend once again. Can the Aston get this move done? Oh, there's a whole lot of insecurity in the steering input there. Wallace maybe a bit earlier on the brakes than Wood was expecting. Maybe Wood paying a bit too much attention to the car ahead, not looking at the track limits. And that can certainly cause you problems. Walter's definitely been caused problems by Augustovskis. These two have been inseparable for quite a few laps now, and it doesn't look Augustovskis is giving up any time soon. Huckabee and Zajac in exactly the same boat. Along the start-finish straight, can Magnus get this move done? And I tell you, Zajac, good exit there. And yeah, we'll fend that one off, no problem. Walters, let's see what he can do against Augustovskis. And in fact, gets a good exit. onto the mountain straight and up Quarry Bend. There we go, Walters hanging on to that. There's Macy Kieran coming in to the pits for the Pure RX Racing team. Christian Wood still within half a second of Wallace there, and Augustus is still hanging on the back of Walters. Kieran Macy coming in to take his pit stop, an hour and 5 minutes, definitely easy done. The Bimmer World car guided by Rafael Bonfim Souza, bringing up the rear at the minute. Charlie Thornton just ahead. 2 trips into the pits for damage. Charlie back out and running, and Christian Wood, how close has he got? In fact, Haukeby as well for the podium. Oh, a bit of separation there. Is there a blue flag car in there? I believe there is. There's Oscar. Oh! The Porsche there a bit keen to go off the wall, and that's a 180. Facing the wrong direction for Guilherme Goncalves. And in fact, Adam Scott's lost the position as well. To Christian Wood, I believe that might have been through the pits. Let's see if I can get this working. Yeah, missing a little bit of the telemetry there, but this is... Oh, it's jumped onto a replay then. Wick and Mission Wallace. And yeah, the move already well and truly done. Haukeby still within a second of Zajac. Oscar and Becchia, the cars currently in the pits. Becchia already been in for damage, so a second trip. But at least this time can fuel and get yourself a fresh set of tyres to make sure the car can run to the end of the race, which at this stage it will do no problem. Tyre PSIs might be an issue. Track temperature down to 33 degrees. And yeah, beyond 6 PM now, so it is likely to get colder very quickly. We'll see how quick it does over the next hour of racing. Huckabee there really is still pressing Zajac. He's carrying a bit of damage on that Audi still as well. Zajac fending him off, doing a great defensive job at the minute. Into Hell's Corner once again. Wood and Wallace still nose to tail, so too Augustus and Walters. We're of course on board with Zajac and Haukeby, the final podium position up for grabs. Although again, both these drivers are going to be on the podium because Zajac is leading the way in the AMS and Haukeby is third overall in the pros. There's Johansson coming in to the pit stop, the Audi driver, going for an almost perfect half and half strategy. Hour and 2 minutes left on the clock. There is Augustus just going past one of the blue flags again. There's Haukeby. Let's keep an eye on that. Wilson and Loverink now separated by less than 10 seconds. So Wilson getting some good laps in the Bentley. 203.2. In fact, very quick time. Not quite as quick as Adam Scott's 202.3. He's just on a 204 there. Definitely got the car repaired. Goncalves into the pits. Hopefully not another damage inspired stop. Johansson's in the pits as well. In the Audi. Can't get a close look at the front. And did I see someone else come in the pits? I'm sure we did. Goncalves, or Carol Nordell, no longer in this. Lewis Evans. Lewis Evans coming into the pits as well from 17th position. William Howard has taken that one back. And Roy might have as well, actually. Yes, indeed, Mark Roy in the Lambo on his way up to the cutting, so that'll be a position there as well over Evans. Souza and Amir in the pits. There's Bisha Amir coming in. Oh, that Porsche does not look healthy. Yeah, that might get put out to pasture. There's only so much mechanics can do. Rafael Bonfim Souza, 26th overall, 7th in the AM class. I was going to say pro class there. Gustav Skiss coming in, so here comes the pit stops now. Just pretty much bang on the halfway mark. There's Evans on his way out of the pits, as well as Christian Wood. Oh, I thought that was Gustafsson firing up the engine so quickly. Clearly not. We've got Goncalves just on his way out of the pits at the moment. Aymer is the driver just behind. That's Charlie Thornton. That's Rafael Souza, and there is Bisher Amir, who is the driver we were looking for. We've got Gustavskis into the pits, so going just beyond the halfway mark. Can he maintain the position on Dudek once Dudek comes in to take the pits? I would say yes. Given the length of time it takes to do a lap versus the length of time it takes to take a pit stop, I would say... Oh no, he's got it done on track anyway. Gustavskis and Dudek. And there's Loverink, race leader, coming in to take his pit again just beyond the halfway mark. He will indeed. I was going to say, will Wilson answer? And he does indeed. And Oscar and Roy, only 2 tenths separating those two. Oh, no, that's because Roy has just come in. Oh no, he's not coming in the pits. Someone else just came into the pit. Salgakar coming in from 2nd place. And that's where that move was done. So Howard making his way through. Mark Roy trying to follow. Does he clip a sausage? Does he clip a curb? Does he take an avoiding action? There's certainly nothing else on the Conrod straight. Oh, and into the Conrod straight again. Very, very, very close between the Aston and the Audi. The Audi carrying that bit of damage, but Salgakar has managed to keep it positioned there. William Howard and Christian Wood still ahead, and there's where we saw the Audi peeling into the pits, no doubt getting that damage repaired. But Oscar from there does move up to 18th position. Simon Zacic still out in the lead with Haggerby in 2nd, Loverink in 3rd place, Wilson in 4th position, and Richard Walters for the BMW car running in 6th place currently. Gustavskis all over the back again of Mission Wallace. We'll be keen to get that overtake done as quickly as possible, because I'm sure you can see in the background the McLaren of Adam Scott closing in lap after lap after lap. And if Gustavskis can't get this overtake done, you better believe that not Zacic, sorry, Adam Scott won't be long in taking a step through the door. Again, if they leave that open, he will be in there. There is Dudek in the Lambo coming in to take his pit stop. Gustavskis and Mission Wallace still duking it out. Yeah, so that should put Scott ahead of Dudek. Yeah, there you can see Dudek dropping down the order. these drivers, you can see on screen, still to take their pit stops. Oh, over the mountains, through the parks. Oh, and the McLaren in the background was a lot quicker there. Augustus nearly losing the back of the car there, being hurried on by Scott. And again, this is a battle for position. Scott currently in third place in the silvers. Augustus in second place. On in Forest Elbow. Oh, is that Charlie Thornton? Harry Trombley's in the pits, no way. So coming down again, the car just stepping out in the opposite direction. The braking zone into Forest Elbow has been an absolute nightmare for the drivers tonight. The back of the cars completely stepping out, and Charlie left with the unenviable task of leaving his car perpendicular to the wall, right across the track. But what can you do? You hold your brakes, you let everyone... Oh, and there is a few extra style points for Charlie. He's really doing well to hang in there. I did say at the start that Audi is a certified killer. It is a card carrying killer. When this car decides that it's had enough, everything lets go and you are gone. And that certainly seems to be the case there for Charlie. Really struggling to steer the car, slow it down, and you can see the steering wheel. Oh yeah, 25 past 10, I would say that steering wheel setting it to go in a straight line. And in fact, I think he almost straightened out there with a massive contact there. Mason Wallace comes into the pits from 9th position. 5 minutes of controls locked in the pit lane. Yes, Harry, that does happen with return to garages, bud, so I'm assuming you had a bit of an accident. Mark Roy coming into the pits, the Lamborghini looking like he's needing the pair. Absolute floods of cars into the pits. Zajac in, Huckabee in, Liverink stays out. So that's him back into the lead of the race. Zajac looking to get his move done. Is over to... His pit stop done. Richard Walters looking to get his done as well. Charlie Thornton, as we saw, coming into the pits. Harry Trombley in the pits as well, and Aston Martin. Sousa coming past the pit entrance. We've also got Mark Roy in that pits as well. Again, the Lamborghini we saw with that bit of damage. Bjorkman trying to get past Augustus, although Augustus getting a good Forest Elbow exit there. Absolutely flying out. Luke Wilson taking on track second place, 14 down on Liverink. There is a lot of movement in the pits as Zajac leaves, Huckabee leaves, Walters on his way out as well. Adam Scott just coming round the last corner now. So no undercut for Scott then. I think he might even have lost a bit of position. There is Charlie Thornton, Lewis Evans. That's Charlie Thornton out the pit, blue flags. He certainly won't waste any time getting out the way. Huckabee and Zajac haven't wasted any time reigniting their battle since they got out of the pits. Huckabee really looking for that third place overall. Those blue flags are not for the cars that we're watching on screen. And in fact, it's not even for the car behind, because that is Walters closing in. So this is a three-way battle for third overall in the race. Bjorkman and Augustus going at it. Kraus and Dudek have reignited their battle since they came out of the pits. Kraus with those extra couple of trips in down the hill. Everyone looks like they've made it into the Forest Elbow absolutely fine. Although don't want to curse the commentator that too much. We've got Dudek and Kraus Still outrunning 11th place for Kraus, but it still puts him in the top 10, obviously, for the pros. In fact, he's just got himself ahead of Dudek there. Again, don't think Dudek would have put up too much of a fight there. He knows Kraus is racing for points in a different division. Oh, and what's going on there? Oh, it's Haukebe and Zajac. Okay, so there's Zajac is massively separated from them. Coming on the bottom straight on, it's the Porsche. Uh-oh. Yeah, blue ball corner pocket there, unfortunately. That was... Yeah, Bishir Amar. There's Scott coming in to take his pit stop. Bashir Amar coming in. Oh, and he's missed that curve. That's could potentially be a penalty. Adam Scott in to take his pit stop. Got a bit of time to make up now after leading the race for such a long time. Bjorkman, Augustovskis and Haukebe are the drivers just outside that top 5, looking to close the gap if they can. Haukebe, of course, won't be aided any by that contact he's just had. That's definitely cost them time to the cars behind, and I'm sure they're grateful with the battle that they're having. They're going to have a hard time closing in while fending off each other's advances. Bjorkman down into the S's. Oh, and he's run a bit deep on the brakes. Keeps it out with the wall, most importantly. Loses a lot of time to the car ahead, but didn't lose any carbon fibre of the car, which is definitely the most important bit. Out of Forest Elbow, it's Augustovskis with a good clean run out of there. Bjorkman, he certainly steadied it since that little wobble down the mountain, but it's that wobble down the mountain that's cost them the all-important slipstream along the Conrod Straight. So into the chase. Oh, you can see Scott tumbling down the order. So he has been in there for a while. Still some cars to take their pit stop, of course. They'll all be done pretty soon though. We've already been going for an hour and 12 minutes, so they've only got about 12 minutes. 18 minutes tops, 8 minutes maybe even, before the petrol tanks start running dry. But that's another lap down for Scott then. Long time race leader. And that is a monumental amount of time that he spent in the pits. And he really is dropping down the order. Really dropping down the order. Oh, I keep looking at look at Carl Nordell, but he is of course out of the race, but still on the timing tower. Bjorkman and Augustovskis still close. I'm trying to find more interesting camera angles to watch these two from, but it is pretty much synchronised driving from the two of them at the minute. Augustovskis. What's going on there? I think, have we got a virtual safety car? Skylar Loverink's into the pits. Let's see. Oh! Oh, so he's already got the damage there. That is incredible. Mishan Wallace from 11th place, going past Skylar Loverink, retaking that position. Wilson and Wallace going on it then. Oh, that was for the race lead. So he was still up at the front then. He's just managed to crawl back into the pit box. Luke Wilson is going to take the on-track lead in the Bentley. That petrol tank certainly paying off now. But it does look like there's a virtual safety car running over the top of the mountain there. Some of the cars definitely not running at full tilt. Adam Scott still in the pit. I'm surmising his race is over. That would be an incredible turn of event. He's still got the fastest lap of the race. Still got the fastest lap of the race. And he finds himself now 5th in class. Oscar is ahead of him. Connie Arn coming into the pits. Oscar with a bit of damage there. Connie Arn in the pits. That was one of the cars we saw going slowly over the mountain. I knew that's who I was looking for. And Loverink is still in the pits. That's a lot of damage that Skylar Loverink is having to get repaired. I can't see a pit timer, unfortunately. I need to figure out how to make that happen. Luke Wilson in the Bentley has the lead of the race. How much longer can the petrol tank on that thing go? He's staying out for another lap. It's an hour and 15 so far. Zajac up to second. Is Zajac back in the overall lead of the race with all the comings and goings? Richard Walters, is he up to second? Huckabee in third place. Skylar Loverink on his way back out the pits, 12th position overall. He definitely has cars ahead of him still to take their pit stop, but he could well be outside the top 5 here, never mind off the podium. He's got the car repaired. He is back out on track. He is going to be absolutely flying for the next 45 minutes if he's going to catch up. Scott's still in the pit, so it looks like he is going to stay in there and going to retire. Such an unfortunate turn of events for the long time race leader. 18 laps he spent out at the front, which was some drive considering the strength of field. He's got Kieran Macy so is that a virtual safety car over the top of the mountain? That doesn't look to me like they're going absolutely full tilt through that section. Let me just see if I can confirm that. Yeah, I can't actually see a note there if that is a virtual safety car, but I'm going to run on the assumption that it most definitely is, and all the guys and gals are in voice chat all together. So over the top of the mountain, it does look like virtual safety cars are being deployed to keep the drivers in check through trouble spots. Marcus Augustuscus up to second, up to 5th overall, second still in class. It is Luke Wilson. When will we see Luke bring the Bentley in? He stayed out for another lap. Zajac then in second position, still Walters in third, Bjorkman fourth, Augustuscus still 5th overall. But he's got Bjorkman very much in his sights just ahead. Kieran Macy still behind Mishan Wallace, who's now 9th overall and still leading the way in the AMS, despite that little off-track excursion that we saw. I just wait to see when Wilson really comes into the pits and what that does with Zajac. Loverink as well at the minute. That's just him on his outlap. And he's got a bit of traffic around him. That's not Christian Wood ahead of him. Christian's in a white Aston. Lambo just quickly getting out of the way there. The Porsche almost piling into the back of him. Lovering, I'm sure, grateful that they both managed to get out of his way before that coming together happened. Gustavskis, and let's just keep an eye there. Kieran Macy still closing in on Mason Walls again. This isn't an overtake for points. The Porsche so much later on the brakes carried. I did think that was a lot of speed to be carrying into the final corner, and that certainly proved to be the case for the Porsche driver there. And again, ignore the rear view mirror in replays. For some reason it's a bit of a glitch. We have a full course yellow system in place through the mountain from turn 2 to turn 18 for major incidents where cars have to slow to 130 kilometres an hour. And there we can see what happened to the Porsche. So yes, there is full course yellows. Excellent. So that does explain that. That was fairly visibly obvious. But yeah, certainly a good idea. And yeah, a couple of times then, that is what has caused those increases in the lap times. So still hope for Loverick yet. He's up to 11th position. Still got a long way to go though. A long way to go as O'Reilly comes in to the pits. Gets his pit stop done. 39 minutes left of the race. There's a second stop there. What is Wilson? Is Wilson going to come in on this lap? Surely is. An hour and 21 minutes. Actually, never think about it. Has he actually been into the pits? Certainly find out soon. There's a big gap he's got over Zajac if he hasn't. And it's definitely a lot of running that he's doing. Mission Wall is still leading the way in the arms. He's got Salgakar in second and William Howard up to third place. Nice, so great drive by William. Oh, a little bit of stutter there. As he rounds the last corner, so he is on for a podium in class. O'Reilly still in the pit, so too Adam Scott in the silvers. He was the long time leader. It's now Simon Zajac who is leading the way. The top three in the standings having very differing races, that is for sure. The BMW finishing lap number 38 with a big lead over second in class of Gustavskis, and it is Nico Dudek. Ooh, the Porsche again. Big contact with the wall there. But Nico Dudek, there we can see his green Lamborghini. 8th overall, so the top three silvers. Top three silvers, all inside the top 10 overall. That might change with the pit stops, although they're all done by now. So yeah, top three. And Mission Wallace, the lead arm. He's got himself a fair bit of damage, but he's got himself a bit of a gap back. But it is Skylar Loverink who is behind him. Loverink back up to 10th place overall. So that does put him 6th position. Can he get this one back into the top 5? It's going to take another worldly effort, but given the pace he was shown in qualifying in the early doors of the race, no reason to think that he can't certainly at least put the pressure on. Once he gets past Wallace, he's got 8 seconds to make up to Dudek, and then he's got to chase down Johansson to actually get himself an improvement in position. Wallace and Dudek both ahead of him in different classes. O'Reilly still in the pits. Big look up the inside. Not much of a defence here from Wallace. He knows that Loverink 2 divisions above. Not much point in putting up too much of a defensive display. Loverink then up to 9th overall. Still in sixth. Needs to get past, as I say, Dudek next, and then catch up to Johansson. That's a lot of track time to make up. Oh, and O'Reilly on the way out of the pits. A stop go 32nd for speeding in the pit lane. So a long pit stop getting damage repaired. And another trip into the pits, only 36 minutes left to go. Bashir Ahmer trying to get out the way the best that he can at the minute. Out the pits carrying a bit of damage, and must feel like he's constantly caught in blue flag traffic at the minute. One of the major downfalls of getting caught in early incidents around the mountain. It really is hard to recover and get yourself back into a decent position, get some clear track to run. And it's certainly proving to be very difficult for Ahmer at the minute. No difficulties up at the front for Wilson. He's made his way past the blue flag traffic once again. And he's now got a clear run to Roy ahead of him in 19th place. Absolutely flying. Adam Scott, still holder of the fastest lap. No longer in the race, unfortunately. So I think... Oh yeah, and he's taking the fastest lap award with him as well. Nobody going any quicker. Charlie Thornton getting his damage repaired, but he is at the back of the silver pack. But there's a few silvers not finishing, so he is going to come home with some good points for his championship. Bjorkman is looking quicker than Walters at the minute as well, but that is a big gap again that needs to be overturned there if he is going to make an impression. The Bathurst, statistically though, someone else is going to come a cropper with one of the walls and unfortunately not make it to the end. We'll see which one of these 23 drivers left on track that is, or can they all shake off the curse of the mountain and make it 34 minutes. Kieran Macy coming into the pits. He's actually being followed by O'Reilly, so that's O'Reilly in for the stop go 32nd as was thought. Kieran Macy in for a second pit stop. Post definitely looking a bit worse for wear, but nowhere near as bad as some of the cars that we've seen so far. The Bentley still lapping expertly at the minute, getting so close to those walls up at the top of the mountain still. Through McPhillamy, through Reed Park, down into Skyline and into the S's. The Boltley handling like an absolute dream for Wilson at the minute. Brake gear down, steer, brake gear down, steer, brake gear down, steer, brake gear down, steer, and then on to Forest Elbow. The braking zone here we've seen lifting the back of so many cars. No problems for Wilson. He's got the Lambo of Roy ahead of him. Kieran Macy coming back out the pits in 14th position. Kraus ahead. And that is confirmation that the stop go has been cleared. He's just making his way past that Lambo as well. So Wilson on an absolute cruise at the minute. Next car he's got ahead of him. Oh, in fact, easy way to do that. Johansson in 7th. It's the next car up the road. Fair bit of time before he gets there. Only 32 minutes left. The race, an hour and a half done and in the rear view mirror already. I'm just going to very quickly take a quick pit stop. Give me a second. Let's pop this on auto. Ah, there we go, quick pit stop and get some airflow in the room. Very, very, very warm. Hopefully it's as sunny where you are as it is where I am at the minute. I just saw Bashir Amir coming into the pit. The forlorn Porsche has had more contacts with the wall than clean laps, unfortunately, in this race. The Bathurst Mountain proving to be the cruelest of mistresses at the moment. But 42 laps in, it is the Bentley of Luke Wilson, absolutely flying. Up at the front, Simon Zajac. Oh, and is that Love Rank? Carrying more damage? Oh, I think it is. Let's see how far back. That must have been a fair bit back then. So Love Rank on a charge to get himself back in the top 10. Got past Krause clearly. Catching up to Wood, or trying to at least, but now carrying more damage on that Ferrari. You can see him contacting the wall once again there. Definitely not what he needed to do. We've got Zajac still second, Walters third, Bjorkman in fourth. Gustav Skiss still got Haukeby behind him. Haukeby had a bit of a rough race as well. But still tracking in the top 5 for the pros. Cameraman struggling to keep up there. Gustav Skiss very comfortably in second place in the silvers at the minute. Dudek, the driver, hanging on to third place. Mishan Wallace, we know the AM leader, inside the overall top 10. So again, great drive there by him. Let's keep an eye on Haukeby and Bjorkman. With a Gustafsson right in the middle of the two of them. So Haukeby can see fourth place just ahead of a Gustafsson. Can he make any impact on that? Luke Wilson still out. Just extending that gap lap after lap after lap. Zajac currently running in second in the BMW. And again, there we can see the virtual yellow flag. Cars have got to set 130 kilometres an hour until they make it through the danger zone. And then get the foot down into the S's. Kieran Macy just heading up the hill. Well, in fact, he was saying he was a lot closer to that car. No, okay, so that's because he's just one of them's just come out of the pits. So that explains that. So let's see if Haukeby can make any moves on Gustav Skiss, although they're about to come into. Also, no yellow flags at the minute, so they are full racing over the top of the mountain. Yes, they are. Haukeby free to try and close in. Oh, although we've got a car out of position, then clipped the wall there. That is an Audi. Just trying to see whose car that is. Haukeby or Gustafsson. Well, Gustav Skiss. Oh, okay, it's Salga car. Who is going a bit slow then. And when I say a bit slow, he really is going slow, although potentially he's just moved over there to let the blue flags through. He does comfortably have that second place, so doesn't need to be doing anything too crazy. Trying to fend off faster. Trying to fend off drivers from the faster tier. Certainly could end in tears. Oh yeah, and you can hear him just lifting there to let the two pros go past, or the silver and the pro go past. Obligingly did at a very high pace. And into the chase chicane. Krause still inside, comfortably inside that top 10, and Becky as well. 19th overall, but there is plenty of cars ahead out of class. So I think 8th he's running at the minute. So we'll see if he gets on for the end of the race. If he can get back any more positions on track. 3.9 down on Mark Roy, who's putting some good laps. He's had a bit of contact with the wall himself, but now he's got clear of the blue flags mostly, putting in some good laps as well. Huckabee still hunting down Gustavskis, and Bjorkman still just ahead. They've got the yellow flags waving over the top of the mountain once again. So Bjorkman behaving himself until he gets under the bridge. On, in fact, the yellow flags this time right over the mountain down to the bottom. Mishan Wallace in the pits. 23 minutes left to go. How is Salgakar going to go on then? In fact, he's only just heading up the mountain. So yeah, that'll be quite the comeback if he manages to close that gap. But it is the mountain that kills. Wallace in the pit stop. There is that Howard? No, it's Trombley, Harry Trombley coming in to take his second pit stop. Back out he comes. Down into 25th place. There's Lewis Rowe looking to... sorry, not Lewis Rowe, he's in the Rowe BMW. Lewis Evans, there we go, up to 20th position. Started at the back of the grid, in fact started from the pits. So he managed to successfully avoid most of the opening lap encounters. And he's got himself up to 20th position overall, so great drive there. Charlie Thornton looking to unlap himself at the minute. Mishan Wallace is out of the pits. It's Johansson. Oh no, is that Salgakar? No, it's... Salgakar's taking the lead for the Arms. Has he? He's definitely ahead on track. He has indeed. Salgakar is taking the lead. So Mason Wallace coming in to take the pit stop, and it is Jay Salgakar who's taking the lead. 21 minutes left to go. He's in the lead for the Arms. Mason Wallace has led this one the whole race. So the yellow flag's definitely benefiting some drivers more than other. Oh, and there is Amir again, clipping the wall, trying to get out of the way of the faster cars. Oh, and there is a tap on the rear for Gustavskis, who is now behind Huckabee then. We missed that overtake. But Huckabee has got the overtake done then. Oh, although he had a big moment there on the way up towards the cutting, so that's what brought them closer together again. And as you can see behind them, they've got the Porsche closing in very quickly as well, so they were running slow over the top of the mountain, not doing any of the drivers any favours after they get that overtake done. Johansson a fair bit back, but definitely don't want to get too complacent if you're Huckabee at this stage in the race. Oh, they're coming around the corner then, two cars side by side ahead, one of them on the exit road comes back on, and you can see the Porsche here trying to get out of the way, just clips that wall, shoots across the track, and manages to just avoid the contact, only for Kieran Mason and fresh out of the pits. Just give us Gustavskis a little tap on the rear quarter panel. Lewis Evans coming into the pits, and carrying a bit of damage then. So yeah, a bit of contact on that previous lap by the look of it. And Evans, who was up to 20th, going to drop a couple of positions now. He's going Calves coming along the bottom straight. Wilson still with this massive lead at the minute. Zacic still second, Walters third, Bjorkman with a lot of running to do, but got Huckabee chasing him down in the Audi. 2.9 seconds separating these two up at the top. O'Reilly staying in the pit, so it looks like O'Reilly's race is run. Evans has repaired the car and coming back out on track, and it looks like he might hold on to 20th position. Oh no, he won't. Goncalves has just gone past. So Goncalves then just managing to retake the position then. So Lewis down to 21st. Still a great drive. Started 32nd place. Starting 32nd in the pits. So it's made up 11 positions very handily indeed. Nordell out. O'Reilly still in the pit there. Has O'Reilly just dropped? Oh, O'Reilly's moving. Excellent. Wow, so that was just a lot of damage O'Reilly had to get repaired. So back out on track. Going to be just ahead of the race leaders. Dudek still in 3rd place, and it's Salgakar, as I mentioned. He's got the lead in the arms. He's got Mission Wallace not far behind him. Oscar there, and William Howard still running 3rd place in the arms. Oh, there's a bit of contact with the Mercedes there. Now that is Bjorkman, I believe it was. Oh, certainly his sister Mercedes, so we'll see what happens here. Comes over the top of the mountain. It's Nicholas Kraus, in fact. Oh, wow. So a contact and synchronised, and it's brought Howard into the pits. Howard's in the pits. So he's had contact there. That's brought him into the pits from the podium. It's Connie Arden going to steal a podium here. We've got yellow flags now. With 17 minutes left to go, and that is a forlorn Audi up ahead. That's not Becchia. But Connie Arden looking to chase down the podium. The positions all changing in the closing stages. Luke Wilson is slowly trundling over the mountain. And there we go, they're back racing again. Howard's still in the pit, so those yellow flags maybe going to help him out ever so slightly, as Arden now being overtaken by the race leader. Can he get close enough? He is ahead of Howard. Connie Arden is ahead of Howard in the pit, so Howard off the podium after a great drive. That unfortunate contact with the wall in late pit stop. And Roy is through as well. Mark Roy making it past as well, so Howard tumbling down the order. So close to a podium. Amir has been given a track limit. Oh, that's speeding in the pit lane. Stockwell 32nd. So Amir really down the running order at the minute. But definitely determined to make it to the end of the race. Comes into pits to serve that penalty. Charlie Thornton coming in for a late pit stop as well. He's been in a couple of times for damage so far. Final pit stop with 15 minutes left to go. Does look like another bit of damage on that bonnet there. That's it, just popped, repaired again. Charlie back out to finish the last 15 minutes of the race. Wilson just extending that gap lap on lap over Zajac. Zajac, no slouch behind the wheel clearly, but Luke Wilson definitely getting the job done from up at the front. Oh, and almost gets taken out there. That is the Audi, not of Becchia. That's Johansson in 7th. So Johansson in 7th in the dying stages, having a bit of a wobble up the mountain, and in fact there's been a big wobble before then. That's a lot of damage Johansson's carrying. Has a moment right in front of the race leader. Oh, on the grass, on the wall. Oh wow, what a save by Wilson. Very nearly at the back of a floundering Johansson there. And the McLaren looking to follow through as well. not quite managing to do so. That Audi has been unlapped by Aaron then, confirming that third position. Howard still in the pits, so that must have been a big chunk of damage that he took on over that mountain. Luke Wilson has taken on the leader's mantle absolutely as elegantly as could possibly be. Got out into the front, and the laps have been quick and consistent and clean, even through all the yellow flags we've just seen. Monster avoiding action taken there. Johansson coming in to get that damage fixed. 13 minutes to go. Kraus and Loverink could get brought back in for some more positions here. So at the minute, yeah, Loverink sitting in 7th place in class. Still carrying damage though, so the times are tumbling again. The yellow flags are waving, so those laps much slower for the drivers. Is this going to play it in the hands of Johansson? Needs to drop very, very soon indeed. Christian Wood round the last corner. Johansson on lap 49, so there's Johansson. Lost the place to Dudek and Christian Wood. Here comes Nicholas Kraus. He stayed out with the damage, and that could get Johansson is still stationary. Skylar Loverink with the damage as well, coming around the last corner, and Johansson still stationary. Loverink crosses the start-finish line, and yeah, Johansson has lost 2 positions there. As Kraus and Loverink both make their way through. Kieran Macy a fair bit back, but could... Oh no, there we go. Johansson is moving once again. But confirmation, Kraus and Loverink have both made it past then. So Loverink on a good recovery drive. That should... Yeah, that will change. Oh, look at the Mercedes in the background there. Big sideways action there for Bjorkman in the closing stages, really getting brave through Hell's Corner there. Maybe feels that he needs to be pulling these kind of moves to get away from Magnus Haukeby. He's only 2.5 seconds down on the car ahead, but there is confirmation that Johansson is behind Loverink and Kraus, but with a freshly repaired car. Will that give them the advantage over Kraus? Over Kraus and Loverink, sorry. Just looking at Salgakar and Wallace. The gap there a bit closer than it was, but Salgakar certainly doing some great running to bring home this race win. With 11 minutes left to go. Certainly that extra pit stop playing right into Salgakar's hand. Bashir Ahmer has come in and served that stop go for stop with 32nd for speed in the pit lane. Trombley out in 25th. Charlie Thornton in 24th place, with O'Reilly in 23rd. Howard still in the pits, so right off that podium, and Macy as well. He's on his way out of the pits, but I think Oscar has got that move done there, so that's an improvement on position for Oscar, and confirmation of that will come through very, very shortly as Macy just leaves the pits. There it is, their confirmation that Oscar is ahead. Connie Arn still in 3rd place in the arms and got a good gap over Roy. So great drive by Connie. Head down. Not involved in too much action later on in the race. Definitely a bit of contact earlier on. Got the damage repaired, kept the task at hand, and a podium is definitely on the cards with Wilson still running at the top of the field. Zajac still second, so it's Walters second for the pros, and Bjorkman currently in 3rd place, but he does have Magnus Haukeby. He's closed in 1.7 seconds on the last 2 laps. Gustav says Dudek and Wood, the 3 silver drivers all next to one another inside that top 10. The lead arm at the moment outside the top 10. Howard's still in the pits there. Oh, and this Haukeby going full sideways up towards the cutting. Certainly brave manoeuvres at this stage in the race. 9 minutes to go. The track temperature has dipped a bit down to 29 degrees, so certainly cooler than when it started, but still I wouldn't say cool enough to be trying too many sideways manoeuvres. I wouldn't be encouraging lateral movement in the rear of the car, that is for sure. Really throws himself down into the S's then. The Audi really getting the grips. You can see that is Bashir Amar, yellow flag down through the S's, bit of a mistake, and ends up on the escape road down through the S's. The two of them, the two drivers concerned here though, do make their way safely through. Christian Wood comes into the pits with less than 10 minutes to go and a whole lot of damage on that front bonnet. There has been some kind of impact there, and Christian Wood is going to see himself then dropping down the order. The positions just absolutely rampantly changing at the minute with less than we've got just under 10 minutes left to go. Oh, and there's Haukeby really thrown in the wall. That's what the incident was for there. Haukeby really smashing that into the wall there. He might be trying his hardest to catch up to Bjorkman, but that won't do him much good if that results in him losing aerodynamics due to no body part, no panels left on the car. Wilson still doing all the running though. There is Zajac just lapping Thornton and of course Lewis of the Evans variety. 20th position he's got himself in at the moment, and Christian Wood, he is going to come out of the pits back out in 11th. He is back out in 11th, so hasn't lost too many places, lost a couple of laps on a couple of people. Souza unlapping himself from 22nd place. Wilson in the lead still, Walters and Bjorkman for the pros, and at the minute it's Zajac, Augustovskis and Nico Dudek first, second and third for the Silvers, and in the arms it is Jace Algakar who is leading the way. There's Christian Wood back out of the pits. Mason Wallace in second, and Connie Aaron in third place. That is currently the three podium positions. Salgakar closing in on Wood. That won't be for points in championships, but I'm sure he'll be looking to get that overtake done as cleanly and safely as possible. Haukeby's closed right in on Bjorkman despite throwing that car around with fairly reckless abandon. He's managed to close the gap to within half a second, so really has given Bjorkman a run for his money. And this is the final podium position as well in the pros. Zajac ahead of him is in the silvers on Magnus Haukeby again, really throwing that Audi. Given how quickly he's closing up, he really just needs to keep it calm on the corner exits, close up and look for the overtake. Oh, as we can see, Bjorkman returning the favour out of Hell's Corner. How much momentum has he lost as Haukeby looks to close in? 5 minutes left to go, and it's the final step on the pro podium that's up for grabs between the Audi and the Mercedes. The Audi carrying, oh no, they've both been fully repaired actually, so they're both running very cleanly. Of course it was Johansson that got repaired, with Liverink and Krause ahead carrying the damage. Liverink now, Johansson now 5.4 down on Liverink. Salgakar still looking for a move past Wook if it presents itself again. Won't be doing anything too crazy, knowing that he's got the lead. Oh, and again Haukeby really is pushing unbelievably hard at the minute. That car taking some serious punishment from those walls, and that has just given Bjorkman another 0.4 of a second there. Down through the S's again. Not many more times it's going to be down through it. Wow, and again throwing that car over those inside curbs, and it really unsettles the back. Big contact with the wall there, as we can see him exiting the cutting over the top of the mountain and into the parks. On the right hand curb, teases it into the left, Decent exit there as well. Down into the S's. So brave on the accelerator. Complete disregard on the brakes. And just clipping the wall on the right hand side again. Almost clipping the wall on the left. Does make it through Forest Elbow, but making it easy for Bjorkman. Making it easy for Bjorkman. And Nicholas Kraus into the pits with damage. Oh, and that is so much damage. That has to have been at the top and down through the S's. I'm going to stake my reputation on that being down through the S's. Or potentially into Forest Elbow. That is a lot of damage at Nicholas Kraus. I'd completely written off Skylar Loverink's chances of getting inside the top 5. Yeah, let's make sure I don't do that again. Loverink getting back that position. Kraus coming in to get damage repaired. Johansson having to come in and get damage repaired. But they're going to get the position back from Kraus when he comes in. So Dudek, Augustovskis and Zajac ahead of Loverink. He's in 5th position. Loverink is back up to 5th in the pros. As you can see, his competitor going into the pits. Nothing is decided until the fat lady sings and starts furiously waving a checker flag at the end of the race. Skylar Loverink, there we go, confirmation, 8th place overall. He is back up to the top 5. What a drive by the Ferrari driver. Took pole position, ended up down the order, and he's fought his way back to a top 5. Incredible stuff. Haukeby and Bjorkman are now separated by over a second. I think it's potentially safe to say that Magnus Haukeby really pushing a bit too hard, finding plenty of contacts with the walls. It's not what you need in the closing stages of these races. Walters looking good there in 2nd. Wilson looking even better there in 1st. Kraus tumbling down the order while he's in the pits. That's him down to 15th. Macy is through. Is Aaron through as well? No. So going to come out behind Macy ahead of Aaron. 1 minute 42 left to go. So this is the penultimate lap. So let's jump on board and watch the Bentley take a victory lap. What a race it's been for the 420 car. There has been action absolutely non-stop right through the whole thing. And while all others around have let their heads disappear and go about their business, he has definitely gone about his business, kept his head, kept the laps, kept the strategy absolutely on point. And Luke Wilson bringing home a very convincing race victory. And in fact, as I'm saying, we're going to watch the Bentley do a victory lap. Haukeby's closed right back in on Bjorkman, back to within half a second. So I don't think this battle is done at the moment. The rest of the field do look like they've got themselves spread out. So this likely to be the final overtake that we see. If he can get it done, really needs to keep it. He throws himself into those S's once again, really aggressively attacking those curbs. And they do have another lap of this actually. They're on lap 55, the leader of course on lap 56. And he is behind them, so these two have got another full lap of this to go. Gustafsson is there, Bjorkman fending off Haukeby. Richard Walters is going to get that 2nd place. And Zajac, he is just starting his final lap, so down the mountain. Here comes Luke Wilson. Great drive it's been from him. And we better keep an eye on Haukeby as well, just to see why he really is getting close. How has he managed that? Well, the damage that he's inflicted upon that car, over the curves, in at the walls, on the grass, the Audi is still determined to drag him on to a podium. This is them on their final lap. A few of the drivers down the field will start getting checkered flags. Because into the chase is Luke Wilson. He gave chase for the opening half of the race, and he has been chased for the second half of the race. But around Murray's corner, the much missed Bentley it would seem. Here we go, the Boatley, lights flashing, checker flag waving, and Luke Wilson will be absolutely delighted, and rightfully so. Great drive there to bring home the win in round number 6 of the Formula GT Racing ACC Season 1, Enduro Season 1, and I'm stumbling over my words because the Audi and the Mercedes are not done yet. Christian Goncalves in the pits. Wutka takes the flag, and Salgakar takes the win. So he was a lap down, but it's Jay Salgakar that wins for the ARMS. So congratulations straight off to the Burger van. Mishan Wallace rounding the last corner. He's going to get second place. Connie Arn already crossed the line, taking the final podium spot in the ARMS. There's Mishan Wallace taking his second place. Nico Dudek, there's confirmation that he got third, and Simon Zajac crossing the line in the BMW gets himself the silver win. Phenomenal drive for the BMW drivers, and it's Richard Walters in the BMW that crosses the line third overall, of course, meaning he's got himself that second spot in the pros. Bjorkman and Haukeby, big separation there, and he's got Gustafsson all over the back of him, so whatever's happened there, that's Liverink coming home in ninth. That's going to be fifth overall. Bjorkman will go past. That isn't for position. It looks like Haukeby's lost a bit of time. He's going to go side by side into the final chicane. Carla Gustafsson got himself an overtake in the final corner. It did look like it was going to be Haukeby on Bjorkman. Haukeby fending off Augustuskas now. Doesn't need to do anything crazy, but Augustuskas round at the outside and gets the finish, and he does give Haukeby the position back. No, he doesn't. Crosses the line ahead and takes second place. So congratulations to Marcus Augustuskas for getting that second position. What a race that was. We'll quickly grab that replay and have a look at the full results. As you can see in the ARMS, Salgakar, Wallace, Aaron rounding out the podium. Roy, Souza and O'Reilly 4th, 5th and 6th. Trombley not finishing the race. Bashir Amar did finish the race though. We've got in the silvers Simon Zajac, Augustuskas and Nico Dudek on the podium. Great drive by them. Wutka in 4th, Oscar 5th, Kieran Macy in 6th position, and Lewis Evans finishing in 7th. Charlie Thornton finishing in 9th. Fastest driver on the track, Adam Scott, unable to finish the race. And in the pros, it was Wilson. What a drive by Luke Wilson. Take a bow. Brings home the top spot. Walters in 2nd, and Bjorkman did hang on for 3rd place in the pros. Haukeby got 4th. It was Johansson in 5th. Liverink in 6th place at the end. So not quite the top 5. Kraus in 7th. Beckia in 8th, and it was Nordell unable to finish the race, but still 26 drivers making it across the line over the mountain. That does indeed kill. Incredible stuff. Tracy Walters, a few wobbles here and there. Richard Walters, but a good race in the end. Indeed it was. Tracy on cheer and Richard in the chat. Love to see it. What an exciting race. Thank you for that great Bathurst watch. Indeed. Mega thanks to the drivers for that one. That was an absolutely incredible round. For round number 6. And now everything chooses to freeze on me. Excellent. There we go. Oops. And then it completely unfroze. As we can see, so far we've had, of course, the goodness sake, Imola, Brands Hatch, the Nürburgring and Barcelona. They're now joined in the rear view mirror by Bathurst. Next time out, it is the 13th of August. And it is Misano. Oh yes. Track limits all day long. We've got Kailami Zolder, Suzuka, Donington Park and Spa still to come, so make sure you get yourself tuned in. Marcus Augustuskas in the chat. Last corner was insane. Indeed it was, my good man. Some phenomenal racing out there on track. Absolutely loved every second of it. Cannot wait until we get the next round underway. Let me just bring up some highlights. Congratulations once again to the podiums in all three classes. Well deserved. Any driver that made it to the end and coming home with points. Not a bad way to do it either. So yeah, congratulations to them. Cheers to Charlie and the gang for getting me involved with the broadcasting. An absolute pleasure as always. Thank you to everyone in the chat. IMSA official. Dr. Neil Bender as well, Chloe Hazel, Trombers, Finlay O'Reilly, William Howard, Wafu was in the chat as well, so is on AGS, Trombers, K4 Macy, okay, lots of the drivers in, Josh Miller of course in as well, Enoja in as well, Tracy Walter saying hi then, Sen and Ra as well. Thank you one and all for keeping me company and enjoying. I hope you enjoyed the racing. As I say, August for the next round. It's at Misano. Make sure you get tuned in for that. And you can watch the previous rounds, of course, on YouTube. So make sure you follow Formula GT. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell to get the notifications for their future race broadcasts. You will not be disappointed. And if you do want to get involved in the racing, of course, again, get onto Formula GT's Discord. Great bunch and some great racing, as we have just seen, even at a track as tricky as Bathurst. So see a quick 360 there from Oscar. Harry Tromley there. But yeah, all action all the time. Make sure you go back and watch that. But that is all we've got time for. My name, of course, John Wright, aka Mr. Double O Raven. Been an absolute pleasure bringing you all the action today. We'll leave you with some of the highlights. But until we meet again, stay safe, take it easy, and have a great rest of your weekend. Good night.